Hello and welcome to Radio ZIndagi. मैं हूं आपके साथ में ईरा and welcome to this show, the COVID Lifeline show. Yes, listeners, by all you know that we have this show pretty much every day between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. to bring you the updates about what is happening with the current COVID situation in India and all the efforts which are being which are being made over here, all the help which is being done over here in Silicon Valley, all over the US rather. It's not really fair to say that it is only Silicon Valley anymore. We have the technologists, we have the ITNs, IITNs, non-profits, volunteers, all people coming together to help. And that is why we have this show here every day, pretty much, Monday to Friday between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. with our host, Sanjiv Goyal. This program is supported by Droices, NTTVC, and the IIT Delhi Excellence Foundation. We are also live on the Radio ZIndagi Facebook page. So you are more than welcome to leave your questions and comments in the comments section. Over to you, Sanjeev.
Thank you, Ira. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. This is Sanjiv Goyal. And today we have very special guests. But before I bring them, let's talk about the situation we are dealing with. The ground realities are, I'm sure you are reading a lot of information and watching a lot of news. It's not very different. If I look at the health data website, current stat, they are projecting 300,000 plus deaths by September only in UP, one state of India. So if you multiply by all the states, it's a large number. The situation, a lot of organizations, especially Silicon Valley and US, have joined hands together. We are calling it United Against COVID Initiative. I'm leading the COVID task force on the behalf of a lot of IIT alumni and IIM alumni. What we are trying to do is bring all the organizations together, work together so we can save more lives. This is the time where community can join hands and do wonderful things. I have Dr. Raj Shah and Dr. Raj Bhavani with me. They are practicing doctors for more than 3 or 4 decades. They are instrumental in sending 6,000 plus oxygen concentrators. So I'm sure you know what oxygen concentrator means and how it works. All of you know the challenges India have. Few organizations just did Breathe Oxygen, Breathe India campaign. There are a lot of initiatives going on. So let's talk to them and understand why they get involved and why they are doing it. And we will try to understand how this COVID virus even works. What happened in last 12 months? We thought we are already out of it. So Dr. Shah and Dr. Bhayani, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sanjeev.
So Dr. Shah, simple question I have for you to start with. Please tell us a little bit about your initiative, how and what you are doing and how you are able to mobilize so many people and so many units. My friends can't even get 10. You are able to do all this. What is so magical?
Well, the magic is Dr. Raj Bhavani, who is with me today. There is a group, relatively newly formed association called Federation of Indian Physician Associations, almost close to 1,500, 2,000 members who have united. And our first initiative was to get the oxygen concentrator that is needed. As you know, for combating COVID, once you get sick and you need to be in the hospital, the most important thing you need, in addition to the medication and the usual care, is high percentage of oxygen, which has to be forced into the lungs so that you can stay alive. You know, oxygen, if I may say in Hindi, it's called pranvayu. It means it's a gas of life. It is air of life. Life cannot exist without oxygen for more than 5 minutes. So really speaking, that's what we are looking at it. So the first thing we need is the ventilator when they're that sick, so that we can push the air and going into the lung. And we need oxygen, very high concentration. Normal air has only 21%, while we are talking about 100% oxygen that needs to be pumped so that your body gets oxygen. And that being the first requirement, So as you can see that as soon as the cases, the acute cases and the seriousness increases, admission in the hospital, and then need to go to intensive care unit, the first thing you need is the means to artificially provide breathing and oxygen.
Yep.
Along with the medication. So there is suddenly tremendous need for oxygen concentrators and pure oxygen cylinders. And we suddenly, the rapid transmission and rapid increase has put so much demand that we ran out of the supply of this essential ingredient. That's why we need this. And so the first need came, can we get the oxygen concentrators? And through the, really speaking, a great effort of Dr. Bhayani, who worked with the suppliers, we had a large number, and the various organizations mobilized and donated money so that we can acquire them. Of course, right now, Sanjiv, you know, our major problem we have is how we can send it to India. Because
we are fighting with that. I mean, just ridiculous. I have
exactly.
units sitting and we are fighting with logistics company, and
right.
It's just bizarre situation.
Right.
And from China, I can't even find anybody to pick it. So it
right.
just
So that is right. That's one thing we got. Second thing, how we got involved is, as you know, the IIT alumni. You are very. This is in Silicon Valley, and I guess I salute to all. You really have put our mother country on the map of the world with tremendous successes from A to Z in Silicon Valley, from Google and Microsoft and IBM to anything you look at it, it's all IITians. And I'm fortunate, I'm not an IIT graduate, I'm a medical graduate, but IIT alumni started a charity arm inspired then in 2006 by President Abdul Kalam, who inspired IITians in Mumbai when he was addressing them, said, look, all of you are extremely successful in developing technology and as businessmen. And you should do something for mother country. And particularly we need, because IIT is a government institution, Indian Institute of Technology. Medical colleges are government institution. Our education was subsidized by Indian taxpayers. That's why in today's term, I graduated spending less than $100 of 6 years fee. That was because of the, and therefore we need
Dr. Shah, I want to change the topic a little bit because
okay.
I'm getting messages from the audience. So the big thing is, I really appreciate it and thank you for that. So today, you know, we are against war. We are
yes.
in war with COVID. And this is almost, the situation is almost like World War II. People are dying, literally dying on the streets. I don't want to sugarcoat it. It's a reality. It's a fact. Everybody knows it. I don't want to scare everyone, but reality is reality. And the big challenge is what the whole world, I believe, have forgotten is this was a situation in New York and LA just a year ago. It's slightly different because the population of India is 5 times of US and we have 1/6 of the land mass. The complexities are far greater. I say it is 1,000 to 10,000 more complex place to work with. And we are having shortage of vaccination. We are having shortage of oxygen beds. But the big question I have for you is, help us understand what is this double strain and what is this mutation?
Okay. Virus is a very simple cell structure with its nucleus and surrounding protoplasm in this. And then it gets a message from the center nucleus, which is made up of DNA or deoxyribonucleic acid. And it sends a message by messenger RNA. And there are proteins which are called spike proteins. So when you look, they give a picture, it looks like a ball with all the spikes coming out. And these proteins, which are antigens, when it goes in our system, our body tries to fight with it, forming antibodies. Now, since this virus is completely new, just like 100 years ago, when first time flu virus appeared, it is in the same group, but it's so new. So we do not have any existing antibodies to fight. So when it attacks us, we are literally, we have no body defense to fight. So we very quickly succumb. It primarily damages lungs. Now, when you want to fight against the virus, you need antibodies, or you need your immune system to produce this substance. It produces against this particular one strain, but the viruses are smarter than human beings. And they then, as soon as human being develop antibodies against one particular type of protein, virus mutate or change its form, change its protein, and now you don't have that. So again, you have a second whammy. And that's why wherever virus appeared, like in India, South Africa, Brazil, UK, it appeared after the first time it hit in last January, February, it mutated and there was a second wave. So India fought the first wave and then it mutated, and now we have a second wave, which is a lot more virulent, a lot more damaging, and much faster spreading. And that's why we are seeing this second wave, and there is also a fear of the third wave coming. So this is an onslaught going on, and that's how we get affected.
Thank you. So Dr. Bhayani, I have this question for you. When we talk about vaccine, there are vaccines which are RNA based, there are vaccines which are traditional vaccine. I don't understand what is the difference. So complexities are immense. And for a common person, we are just trying to understand how these vaccines work. So would you mind sharing with us your thoughts? You are on mute, Dr. Bhayani.
Thank you. Yes, so the traditional vaccine is the killed virus, and that killed virus acts like the protein, and then antibodies are formed against that killed virus, and which also works against the virus which is going to come in your body, because virus is already killed, which is vaccinated. And so that is one way of doing the vaccine. The second way of doing vaccine is the just getting the DNA extracted from the virus and use that as a inducing protein, and that antibody is created against that, and that will also act as the antibody for the virus. And the newer version, what is called as mRNA vaccine, so when that is injected, the mRNAs actually get incorporated into the cells, which are immune cells, and they start making, they tell those T cell lymphocytes and other lymphocytes. Let's start the B cell lymphocytes. T cells are cellular immunity, and B cells are the one who make antibodies. So once they go inside the B cell, that mRNA gives the message to the cell, hey, start making these antibodies now. So these are the various ways we actually make antibodies. So essentially, the body has to make antibodies of its own against this virus, which is going to come in. There is one more innovation which is coming, which is actually the protein spike, which is there. They are trying to make antibodies against that protein spike itself. So these are the various methods which are being developed. mRNA is the latest technology, and that is the one which is most successful so far. There are two vaccines. One is the Pfizer vaccine as well as the Moderna vaccine. And those are the most effective so far, as far as they have efficacy of 95 to 97%. And it lasts even longer than 6 months. There is a thought going on that we might need a booster after 6 months. The studies are going on for that. And we will know within 2-3 months whether we need that or not. So this is the basic concept of what is happening in the vaccine world.
So Dr. Bhayani, the question I have for you is, the RNA is a very new technology, although it's not a new technology. Research is going on for a long time, but this is the first time we are able to make a true vaccine, which is solving a real problem. We don't know the long-term effect of it. There are a lot of people are concerned about even taking vaccine. Even I know some of my people I know in my network, they are healthcare workers and they are not taking vaccines. So what is your take on that? I know it is a choice and people have whatever choice they want to make, but I'm just trying to understand, especially with this mutation, because this mutation is, if it continues, this vaccine will continue to catch up. So I don't know when will it end, because it's becoming such
eventually, So essentially, let's follow the more severe form of influenza, which vaccine we take every year. So this is going to be the norm next several years, that when, as you know, influenza virus comes in every year and we give the flu shot, but that flu shot is based on the previous year strain, not the this year strain. And so same thing will keep happening with coronavirus or the COVID, which is we're going to keep taking the vaccines against the previous strain. And when the new strain emerges, that we will take it again with a booster dose in future. And this is what I see, which is going to happen in future.
Wow. So are we going to, you are saying, are we going to give vaccine to 7.3 billion people every single year? That's a scary part. We are having trouble because less than 10% of the world is vaccinated. So I don't know how, there are countries, Thailand, there are less than 1%, just 1% people vaccinated.
There are countries where there is no vaccination at all, actually. There are few countries where no single dose has been given so far. So this is why the world has to come together, as you initiated and we initiated. Unless all the organizations come together, all the entities come together, all the charities come together and fight this, there is no winning this battle. So as world is facing unprecedented existential crisis right now, and this darkness is real.
It's not going
and
anywhere.
It's the fear. It's not going anywhere.
So Dr. Bhayani.
So this vaccine is the real hope. Yes.
So Dr. Bhayani,
please go ahead.
I mean, you and me, I am vaccinated, you are vaccinated, and next week I have to go to Florida for a meeting. And in Florida, everything is open. Now everybody's telling me you are going to get you are going to get COVID. And on the same note, a lot of states are planning to remove the mandate, or to basically, you're not required to wear mask. What's your take on that? Because it's very confusing message. On one note, we are saying that in the world, people are dying. On one note, we are saying people are not getting vaccination. And in America, what we saw less than a year ago, so many deaths everywhere, even our loved one and friends. And we are changing it. Are we in a rush, or what's going on? And what do you recommend to the people? Because we can't change what government does. They do what they are supposed to do. But as a common Joe, what am I supposed to do?
See, as you rightly said, this is still so much unknown about it. At the same time, everybody must take the vaccine. There is no doubt about it. And once you take vaccine, even if you get COVID, the form of the COVID will be very, very mild. So that is absolutely has been proven. So to protect yourself, you must take the vaccine. Does it prevent infection? Actually not. It will make the infection less severe. At the same time, if you get infection, you can infect others.
Yeah.
So if you are, yes, you absolutely can infect others. So that is why people should wear mask if you're going in the area, even after taking vaccine, if there are large population which is not vaccinated. Like in certain states, when the population of the vaccination is very, very high, which is causing herd immunity, that's where you do not need mask. So in US, almost 200 million people have taken vaccine.
In fact, the country, I forgot, there's a small country in Europe, 70% people got a vaccination shot, and they still recently, after the crisis in India, they have done quarantine. So are they overreacting in that case?
Probably it's precautious, and that's understandable because we don't know what vaccine they have taken. That vaccine may not be as effective as Pfizer, Moderna. Some of these Sputnik and China vaccines are given very extensively in that part of the world. If you see, they take an example of Israel. Israel has been completely open now, and US can follow that route, but there is a lot of resistance in a lot of red states about vaccination because of the fear of vaccine, or some people think it's their freedom of expression. They should not take the vaccine. So those people should need to be educated. So as see, this is the job of this Radio ZIndagi, yourself, myself, that we must educate people where there is no vaccination done. Please wear the mask. Please follow social distancing. Please get vaccinated. So this is the campaign actually we're going to start. We will need your help in India in
We are
very
in this
extensively
together,
soon.
Dr. Bhayani. We are
Yes,
together.
absolutely.
We'll work
Absolutely.
together.
See, we cannot send concentrated to every person in India, but
That's
we
a
can
mandate.
vaccinate every person in India. We can definitely vaccinate everybody in India, and we have to do that.
So, Dr. Bhayani and Dr. Shah, maybe this question for Dr. Shah more. As per my understanding and what Dr. Vivek Murthy, our Surgeon General, said, that minimum 70% people has to be vaccinated for herd immunity.
Yes.
Is that a correct statement?
Yes. And more you have, better your chances of protecting the population at a large. But again, going back to the issue of individual protection, individuals have to take care of themselves and protect. This virus spreads by in the air with small particles. Mask is a very, very important shield that prevents the virus from going in your body. I mean, if we are in the car, we want to have a seatbelt. If you are somewhere, if you want to protect your body, you put your clothes and coat and hat. Why not mask when you are supposed to be in an environment which is going to expose you to a virus for which you don't have immunity?
Not just that, Dr. Shah, I'll give you my own example, and a lot of my friends, and fortunately I managed without getting COVID because I thought the reason I was able to do it, I was taking a lot of precautions. At the same time, I was taking the supplements recommended by my doctor, which is zinc, vitamin C, and D. And I was physically reasonably active. So that's how I managed that. So the two questions I have for you. One is a question you and me can talk long-term some other time, is if you have a quick recommendation on the supplements people should take, if you can consider that, that'll be very helpful. So our audience here as well as in India can start at least doing some basic precautionary measures, because vaccine is not there. It's a challenge.
Let me tell you, the most reliable precaution that you can take, which is known and proven: mask, social distance, wash your hands. Now, beyond that, if you're sick, then obviously you're going to need the medication, monoclonal, remdesivir, or anything that you do. But beyond that, I know there has been anecdotal things. Initially, hydrochlorine came about. Right now, we are talking about doxycycline. We're talking about zinc. If you ask homeopathic, they have their own formula with zinc, arsenic, and none of them have really proven to be a factor. I mean, a lot of companies are raking a lot of profit by saying this things helps or and builds up your immunity, but nothing has been proven. It's all more of a psychological consolation that yes, I'm taking, and just when you say I feel good, you feel good, and so from a medical standpoint of view, there's nothing that I would say except mask, social distance, wash your hands, and take vaccine. There is no question that vaccine will help, but vaccine is not 100%. You can be vaccinated, you can still have reinfection, maybe by a variant strain. But still, and that's why precautions are absolutely necessary.
So then why states like California are lifting the mask requirement?
Well, because now you have enough people vaccinated. Second, it is an economic reason. When you are at a complete lockdown or significantly restricted, and you're not doing it, people are they're losing their jobs. They don't have money. Some of them are on street. I mean, you have to balance between both. So I think now that there is vaccine, now that people have some immunity, now that I think we can safely open. And that's why this is a changing recommendation. People, at least from the CDC and NIH, they feel comfortable that, okay, you can do that. But again, remember, they still tell you that if you are in an unknown environment, if you are in a large gathering,
Don't
put
do
the
it.
mask on, keep the social distancing, and even if you're vaccinated. So that's important.
So for our audience, you have listened to Dr. Raj Shah and Dr. Raj Bhavani. Irrespective of what you hear in the news, you hear from different organizations and people, even if governments are lifting the mask requirement, their recommendation is do not stop wearing mask in public places. Please take a lot of precaution, the precautions you were taking earlier to that you should not stop. Correct me if I'm wrong. Dr. Bhayani,
Absolutely right.
the last minute, we have 1 more minute. Question is, how do we do mass vaccination in India? Is there any role private enterprise can play?
Absolutely. See, in India is such a big country, we must have public-private partnership to make sure the vaccination gets done. And without public-private partnership, it is impossible to vaccinate, not only India, all over the world.
We will talk, Dr. Bhayani and Dr. Shah, on Saturday. I will invite everyone on my show to join us for United Against COVID.life is our website. We are going to start at 8 a.m. We have a lot of great people. Dr. Bhayani and Dr. Shah will be there too. And we will do deep dive around vaccination and what else can we do. Thank you very much, Dr. Bhayani. Thank you very much, Dr. Shah.
Thank you very much for
Thank
this
you.
opportunity to bring the message out and to people. And we need more platforms like this to let people get the message and follow through.
We have to work together. It is
Absolutely.
everybody's problem.
Yes.
And it's not India's problem. It's not America's problem. It's a global problem.
No.
We have to vaccinate
It is.
7.3 billion people, and we
Exactly.
have less than 800 million people vaccinated today.
And at the end of that personal responsibility, take care of yourself. It's not government, it's not anyone else. You have to take care of yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.